Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to take you on some bookish adventures with me. Kind of going to be like one of those ultimate book videos you might have watched before. I'm going to be going to Barnes & Noble. We're going to be working on my book that I'm currently like outlining slash drafting. Then we're going to do a bit of book shopping but not go too crazy. I also would like to try and go to some little free libraries today because there are some books that I would like to get rid of, just a couple. But I always love going to those, seeing what's in them. I never really have that good of luck when I go to them, but I always like to try. I would also like to get back into journaling because I do have a reading slash life journal that I have, but I'm very bad at being consistent with it. I just haven't really done it in a long time, mainly because my printer has always acted strangely, so printing out images has kind of been a hassle. But I love making spreads. I miss that like creative hobby that I used to do all the time, and I don't know what spread I might do, but I think I'll update the ones that I'm behind on and then maybe do something for like a favorite book. I'm not really too sure yet. We'll just have to figure out how I feel when I sit down. So buckle up because we're going to be in my car for probably the entirety of this video, and I'm going to take you along with me throughout my bookish day. Okay, I just got dressed and this is the OOTD. I was going to wear shorts, my new shorts that I got, but it's kind of chilly outside, so we're just gonna go with jeans today. But I thought I'd dress myself up and not just like wear leggings or something in order to make myself feel more productive. So the first stop for today is going to be Barnes & Noble because I decided I'm going to have a little writing session there. Because I actually need to work on this book very badly. I'm going to start working on the outline, that way I know like which specific scenes I need to write first, and like what order I want them to go in, so that way I hit all the plot points, get the character arcs started. So I'm gonna pack my bag and then we will head off to Barnes & Noble, and I might do a little book shopping too, who knows, honestly. I am on a book buying ban, but I might break it. It is so windy today, which I don't mind, it feels great, but it makes it cooler, so I brought a little jacket with me because it might get a little chilly, you know. But I also brought a beverage with me. I did make a coffee this morning, but the ice melted really quickly, so I didn't really get to enjoy it very much, so I brought a little caffeine treat for me, and that's my favorite flavor, so this is just perfect so far. Like I said, I'm headed to Barnes & Noble. I'm gonna do a writing session and do some like outlining for my book, and then I'll probably do a little bit of book shopping. I did also bring 2 books I'm unhauling with me, and I'm gonna see if I can trade them out in a little free library. I have them listed on Pango Books, but I probably will just take them down because they haven't sold yet, and I'm just sick of having them in my room, so why not just trade them out and see if I can find a good book in a free library. So I brought Lake's Edge by Lyndall Clipstone and Sky in the Deep by Adrienne Young, and these are 2 young adult fantasies that I did try to read. I listened to a little bit of them on audiobook, and then I kind of was just like bored of them, and I just couldn't really connect, couldn't get into it, and I have a problem with DNFing books where I feel like I should still give it a chance even if I'm not really enjoying it. So I just forced myself to DNF. I knew I really wasn't going to care. They were going to be like a 3-star anyways, so it's not like they were going to be favorite books of mine. And I just need to give myself some more grace. It's okay to DNF books because, you know, there's other books out there that I'm going to enjoy way more, so I feel like I shouldn't waste my time on ones that are just okay to me. Not every book I'll do that for, but for those ones I just had them on my shelves too long, and I just wanted to give them a shot, and I gave them a little shot, and they weren't for me. So we're gonna try and switch those out too and make that another stop. So I'm gonna stop yapping and I'm gonna start driving. Okay, the lighting is a lot better here. I'm actually currently waiting to pick up my brothers from school right now, but I thought I'd give you a quick little book haul. I still haven't gone to the little free libraries. That's going to be my next stop. I'll stop home for lunch, drop my brothers off, and then I'll run to a couple little free libraries near my house. That way I'm not like going too far. But I wanted to show you the books I got from Barnes & Noble. So I got 3 books, and they were all ones that I had planned to get. I am on a book buying ban right now because I'm trying to take down my physical TBR one book at a time. It's a very slow process, but I'm currently doing like a little series where I read books off my physical TBR. And just slowly make progress with that. So definitely go watch episode 1. I know that one is up. I don't know when number 2 will be up, but it should be soon. I told myself I wasn't allowed to buy any more books, especially not like ones that like I could just like impulse buy. These ones were all ones I had been planning to get for like a long time, but I also did pay cash, so technically they were free. Anyways, so the first book I got was The Floating World by Axio, and I'm actually currently reading this. I received an ARC from NetGalley, so I was reading the ebook, and I'm about like 60% through. I've just been reading it very slowly, but I'm loving it so far. It's really, really good. It follows the main character, Ren, who has this light power, and she lives in a village with her aunt and her uncles, and they are basically part of a performing troupe. So they just go from village to village and perform their little dances and their shows. And then one day she's attacked by a demon in the village, and she has to use her light power that she hasn't used for so long. And it basically sets off this whole chase where the country in this, or like the empire in this book, are hunting her, and this general's son is sending mercenaries after her because he wants her like power. And there's some like lore and history in this too. But the other main character is named Sunho, I think is how you say it, and he's one of the mercenaries who's sent after her. But it doesn't exactly go to plan. So yeah, so far I'm really loving this. The second book comes out later this year, which I hope to get to once I finish it. I do have an ARC of that one too. But I just wanted a physical copy because number 1, the cover is beautiful, and number 2, I feel like this is a series like I will continue. I don't know if it stops at 2 books, but if it does, that's great. If it doesn't, I will definitely read them all. And the next book I got was The Saturday Night Ghost Club by Craig Davidson. This is a literary fiction book. It follows a group of kids who spend a summer investigating like ghost stories and urban legends and like paranormal things. And it reminds me a lot of Stranger Things, which I love Stranger Things, but I kind of just wanted like a kind of spooky read, like not exactly a horror book, but just something spooky and summery, because my boyfriend and I are going to do a little summerween, couple little celebrations in June, and so I kind of wanted something themed to read during that period. Like I have some thriller books I could read, but I feel like this was fitting because it follows children or like young kids during the summer in the 80s, and they're doing ghost spooky stuff. I feel like that couldn't be more perfect, especially because I love Stranger Things, and that was the vibe that this book gave off. And I didn't want something too horror because I want to save that for like actual spooky season, like October, where we're going to haunted houses and everything, but I thought this would be a good fit for our summerween thing. And it's pretty short too, like it's not the biggest book ever, so I feel like it hopefully will be quick to get through, and also the cover is just super duper cute, like I really like that. And then the last book actually isn't for me, this is for my boyfriend. He listens to a lot of audiobooks because at his work he's able to, but he just never really like sits down and reads a physical book, and I've always wanted him to, so I said, I recently bought a hammock, and I told him, I was like, will you read a physical book if I get you one? If we sit down in the hammock and we like read our own books together? He was like, yeah, I'll try. So I got him a copy of The Road by Cormac McCarthy because he has listened to Blood Meridian. I don't know if he's listened to No Country for Old Men, but we've watched the movie. So he really likes his stories and he's familiar with the author, and I just thought he'd like want to read this one. It's not like the longest book ever, it is a bit thicker, but the font is like pretty big. I'm not saying like he struggles to read, like he's very literate. I totally understand like the focus issues he might have or something like that, so I'm kind of glad the font is bigger for him, so hopefully it's encouraging him to like get through it. I'll definitely read this one after he's done at some point because I am curious to see. I've always been hesitant to read this author because he doesn't use punctuation, and I feel like I cannot do no quotation marks. I'm just not sure, but hopefully he likes it, hopefully he can get through it and we'll read it together. And yeah, so this is technically a gift for him. So that is my little Barnes & Noble haul. I will update you when I'm going to the Little Free Library, and hopefully we'll cross our fingers that I can find some good books there. I really don't want to have to go to like maybe more than 2. I'm hoping I can get lucky at 1, but I'm not sure. Also, I'm so sorry this video is in my car the entire time, but I'm out and about today on my bookish day and you're coming along with me, so you're gonna obviously be in the car with me. Okay, I'm home now from being out. It has been a little bit. I did take a nap because I was quite tired, but I'm feeling good now, feeling awake. So I thought I would take you through my current reads real quick. I'm currently in the middle of 2 books, one of them being Magnolia Parks by Jessa Hastings. I'm really enjoying this so far. It's a lot of fun. It's different than what I thought it would be. I thought it would be a lot more plot-driven, focused on the romance. And it is focused on the romance, but it's just kind of like a recollection of memories, which is a really enjoyable format. It's just not what I expected. There's so much drama in this, and the characters are honestly kind of annoying, but I like it. I want to see what happens to them, and I'm slowly starting to care for them. So far, really liking this, excited to continue, and I'm up to page about 100, so I'm making decent progress with this one. The other book I'm currently reading is The Floating World by Axio, which I just picked up today, and I'm actually on page 203, so I'm actually pretty close to the end. It's nice to see like where I am in the actual physical book, not just like a percentage on my iPad. So it's nice to have a physical copy, and I definitely will be continuing this because I really want to know what happens by the end. I'm really hoping there's not a cliffhanger, especially because we just got to a really interesting part and things are changing and a lot of stuff is going on, and I just need to know what happens. But before I sit down and fully get cozy and read, I would like to do something that I don't really do very often. I'm going to mess up my bookshelves. As you can see, they're organized the way I like them to be. Like, they're very clean, very structured. I just redid them and I really like how they look right now. But I found this app where you can scan books, and I feel like it would help keep track of my physical TBR. Like, this app will be dedicated to my physical TBR because I do mainly track on Goodreads and Fable, but I feel like it'd be fun to just have one for the books I own to see, like not just a little shelf, not just like it's a tiny little part of it, but just like the whole thing. So I'm gonna try it out. The app is called Reading List. So basically what I have to do is either scan the barcodes or like add them manually, and I think the easiest way to go is to scan the barcodes. So I'm currently gonna be tedious and extra and scan every book on my shelves, and then we will sort them by the ones I've read and the ones that I haven't. So let's get started. So sorry, this angle is kind of weird, but I had been reading this entire book, this much of the book, on my iPad, and it was an arc, so there wasn't much. It was just like the book, that's it. There wasn't like any maps or anything. And the way it's described, it felt so intricate, and I just really wished I had a map the whole time, but it was an early copy, so there wasn't any like fun add-ons or anything, and that's another reason why I wanted to get this book, the physical copy, so I could see the map. And I kind of had forgot about it as I just started reading, and then I remembered, and wow, I'm actually so impressed. Let me show you. Like, look at the detail of that. That is so beautiful. And now I feel like I have a really good idea of where everything is. So I'm definitely going to study this a bit and try and remember things that happened and like in the locations that they happened in, because they basically go on this journey throughout this entire world through this whole book. So I feel like I've missed a lot of like visualization of where they are in the world. So it's really, really nice to see it. Wow, this is so beautiful. I definitely have a thing for maps in books. That's probably why I love fantasy so much. So I finished going to some little free libraries, and yes, this is actually the next day because I had no luck yesterday. I went to two and it was getting to be like rush hour traffic, and honestly I was just kind of sick of being in the car all day, just like from driving around. So I went to two and I didn't have any luck, and then I just came home and decided to go today instead. And actually that was very successful. It was a very smart decision. I did go with my friend. I invited her to come along with me and we just hung out and ran some other errands together. But it was just fun to go to some more in a different area that's like not as close to my house. It's kind of like farther out from me. And I was actually really lucky. Like, we got rid of all the books I wanted to get rid of, and I did add two more to that list, which honestly aren't very important to talk about because they're gone now. They're in a little free library in my city somewhere. The ones I traded them out for, I'm actually really excited. So I did bring 4 in total, but I only came back with 3 just because one other I returned. I was kind of like, I'm sick of being out here today, and I just don't really care to go to another one and try and find another book I want because truly I don't need it. I can't remember which stops I got which books at, but I'm very, very excited for all of these books. They've all been ones that I've wanted to read, or at least like have known about and kind of been interested in for a long time. So that's one of the things I tell myself going into this, is that you're not just going to take a random book. It has to be something that you genuinely see yourself reading, getting to soon. And I know I say that, and I know it's easy to say that, and then I have all these books that I own that like I haven't read many of them and I've owned them for years. But I feel like going into it with that mindset helps me just like not choose books that I just know I'm not going to read, that I'm not going to care about. I feel like the point of this is just choose something that I'll like, and then I'm able to return it and switch it out for something else that I'll potentially like. So there were ones that I found that I was like, this could be interesting, but then I had to ask myself, do I actually see myself liking it? Do I actually see myself enjoying it, like genuinely wanting to read it? And the answer was no. So I went with ones that I did feel that way about. First one is Brave New World by Aldous Huxley. This is like a classic dystopian book, really well known, really, I don't want to say popular, but just it is so well known and well loved, and I've never read it before, and I'm currently writing a dystopian book, so I feel like this would be cool to see like how it compares, and just like kind of one of like the staples of the genre. I've always wanted to read this, but I never have like really been super, I don't know, pulled towards it, so finding it in a little free library today was great. I love this copy. This cover is actually so cool, and the cool thing is that the one I got this from, it has annotations by the person who, like, whose library it was. So let me show you some. But yeah, she like highlighted in it, and it was so cute. In hers, there was like a guest book you could sign, so I signed it and I left like a comment, and it was just so cute. So I definitely will plan to return this one to that specific library. I remember which one it was, because it has her like little stamp in there too. Like I just feel like she put so much thought into making this little free library, and all the books she put in there are like well loved and well thought out, and I just really appreciate that. I really want to have my own free library one day, like when I move out of my parents' house. The next book I picked up, my friend actually convinced me to get, because I think there was another one in this one that I kind of was leaning towards, but she told me to get this one, and it's Tom Lake by Ann Patchett. And I know this one's really popular. Like, this says it was Reese Witherspoon's book club pick. But I've seen this like everywhere, but I've never really been pulled to it, besides like the cute cover, of course, just because like I don't really read much like literary fiction. I feel like this could be called like a women's fiction book, but after reading the synopsis, it sounds really cool. It follows the three daughters of this character named Laura, who live in an orchard in Michigan, and the mom, Laura, she like is recollecting her memories of working at this theater company and like a romance she had with a famous actor. And so it's about family and like love and marriage, and sort of like a coming of age novel, or I guess like a retrospective coming of age novel. And it actually sounds really interesting. So I don't typically read books like this, but my friend Kaylee was telling me that her sister read it and really loved it. And I feel like between the setting and the characters and just kind of like that style of writing that reminds me a lot of like Taylor Jenkins Reid, I feel like I will enjoy this. So I don't know, I might pick it up on audiobook or something, but I feel like it's just gonna be super cute. So I don't know, I'm excited to try this out, because normally like this isn't something I would buy for myself, so I'm glad I got it out of a free library. And the last book I got is actually really up my alley, but there's kind of a funny story about it. So this is Blade Breaker by Victoria Aveyard, and I've read most of the Red Queen series by this author. I think I read only the first 3 books, because by the time I got to the last one, I just kind of was a bit over it at that point. Like I'd kind of just lost interest, but I really did like those books when I read them at the time. It was during COVID. This is actually the second book in this series though. So the first book is Realm Breaker with the gold cover, as you can see here. So you may be asking, why did you get the second book? Maybe that's just because it was the only good option in there, but also I do see myself really enjoying the series. It's kind of reminiscent of Lord of the Rings. It follows this main character, Coraine, and she's basically like told she has magical powers and they go on a quest. Like, what better fantasy adventure premise is there? So yes, this is the second book. Yes, I won't be reading this immediately, but it was a nice hardcover copy, and I feel like I'll really enjoy it. So I don't know if I will get a physical copy of this first. I might try and listen to it on audiobook. I'm not really too sure. But now I'm really motivated to read it, because I do want to read the second book since I have a copy now. So maybe if I listen to the audiobook of the first one and I like it, I'll get a physical copy, and then I can read this one and then read the third book. And the good thing is that it's only a trilogy, because I don't think I could do it if it was like more than 3 books, and they're pretty big. Like, this is, how many pages is this? It's about 500 pages, close to 600 pages. So it's not small by any means, but I really love like intricate fantasy with really heavy world building and stuff like that. And I feel like since I love Lord of the Rings too, and it's kind of giving those vibes, I feel like I'll like it even more. So this might have been a silly pick for the moment, but I'm gonna hang on to it, and hopefully I can get to Realm Breaker soon. Just because I feel like this is something that I'll actually enjoy. I've always been hesitant to start this series though, just because it is such like, I guess technically it's YA, but high fantasy. So I don't know. But yeah, those are the 3 books I got. I'm actually really excited for each of them, and I feel like they're very different from each other, which is good. That's one of the things I like about this, is that I don't pick books that like I'm obviously gonna buy at a bookstore. Like these are ones that I don't think I would purchase myself, but I would get from the library or something like that. So I think I did really good with these picks. It makes me motivated to read more so I can go switch out more books in my city. I love it so much.